4 ways my parents failed me as a black girl growing up.
My mom had no idea how to do my hair. She tried and she tried and she tried, and I screamed and I screamed and I screamed. So she did the right thing. Put my little 2-year-old self in the car, drove to an all-black, all-natural hair studio here in St. Louis, walked in, set me on the counter, and said, and I quote, "Help me. I am an ignorant Caucasian woman, and I have no idea what I'm doing."
Excited to have your amazing joy at Comfort for Life. This is the right place to be. I appreciate your love and support to my content, and if you're new here, consider subscribing for more and more exciting videos. We are here for educational purposes, and I've been seeing videos running on my For You page on TikTok of people comparing biracial children, those of white moms and those of black moms. So I'm not going to get into that, but if you believe in love, you believe in love regardless of color, regardless of anything. So that's the attitude that I want you to adopt as you listen to this video. Let us not make it about hatred toward a certain race, but I just want us to look at this video as things that we should embrace as we engage in these interracial relationships. You know, what should you know about the other race? But this right here, and these are videos that I've been seeing for a while, seeing a grown women coming on the internet speaking of how their white moms failed them. So there must be something to be spoken about, to be addressed. So pay attention to this. I'll let you listen to this series and let's have a conversation around this. Thank you. Listen up.
The Black biracial experience, I've heard a lot of people talk about how they feel like they can't share that experience or it's silenced. And I think the kicker here is, who are we telling this experience to, and what are we using it to do? Are we using it to get empathy, to sort of identify with the Black experience? It's similar to when like Kim Kardashian lost her earring in the ocean. Like, I guess, like, I understand that was like very real for her, but I'm probably not the best person to call to complain about it. The same way that white women will want to use a relatable story, you know, to me as a biracial person. And I'm thinking, I am not the best person to validate this experience for you.
4 ways my parents failed me as a black girl growing up. Number 1 is they never taught me what it was to wrap my hair. I got to college and I was like, what is that? All throughout high school, I was just burning up my hair, re-straightening it every day. Number 2 is I wasn't allowed to watch black shows. So I wasn't allowed to watch BET. I had never heard of Friday. And when I got to first year of college, everyone, like, orientation week was talking about Friday. I was like, what is that? And everyone turned and looked at me like I was like this whitewashed black girl. They're like, you've never seen Friday? Yo! It was so embarrassing. Number 3 is we were never invited to any cookouts. It's not like they don't have friends, but we just were never invited to any, or we didn't attend. So I just had no idea about cookout culture. So I really had to catch up on that when I got to undergrad. Lastly, I still don't know how to electric slide. Like, I'll learn it and then I forget it by the next cookout season. It's just not for me. I just can't remember it. I mean, I am sorry. Like,
I wasn't allowed to go to an HBCU, but hear me out. My parents met at Howard and they knew if I went to an HBCU that I would be out of control. I actually ended up going to college right around the corner from Howard, and they were right. I had a lot of Howard friends and I'd hang out with them a lot, and we got in a lot of trouble together. Number 2 is I have no idea how to play spades. I don't know the premise. I don't know any rules. I don't even know if I've ever seen anyone play spades. I have no idea. Number 3 is I don't find old black TV shows entertaining or funny. Like, for example, Martin, I don't find it funny or entertaining. Like, I wasn't allowed to watch BET, but I also wasn't allowed to watch MTV or the news. Like, it wasn't just BET. And yeah, there were shows on there that were inappropriate, but there also was like family appropriate stuff there too. But because I didn't grow up watching them, I don't find them entertaining. Number 4 is that I never had box braids, so I'm scared to get them as an adult because I have no idea what to get. I think they're cute, but do I get small, medium, or large? What are the different types? I don't know. And I'm just afraid of looking stupid. So yeah, surprise, I can't twerk, but I can shake my ass. Yes, there is a difference. I think the reason for this is because since I wasn't allowed to watch BET growing up, whatever it was, like TRL, 106 and Park, whatever the BET version, like I wasn't allowed to watch MTV either, but whatever it was, I wasn't allowed to like in my room practice with the door closed, practicing whatever they're doing in the music videos. Like I couldn't do that. So I think that's why I can't twerk. Number two is just going off of the BET thing. There's so many Black movies I've never seen. So I have a list that my friends just keep adding to in my notes section of my phone that is literally 70 movies long. Like, of course, I never saw Friday, The Wood, like whatever the rest of the Black movies are, never saw them. If people are interested, I'll like do a green screen of all the movies. It is ridiculously long. Please don't add movies in the comments. Like, I know you guys are, so maybe do add movies. Like, I don't know, because once I said The Wood, you guys are probably like, what the hell? Number three, like, of course I don't know how to cornrow. I do know how to French braid, but that's because I used to ride horses, like, surprise, surprise, like, bougie Black girl. Like, I had a horse, and you had to know how to French braid for that. I know cornrow is just like an upside down French braid, but I still can't get it. Number four is that, like, the old Black songs, I just don't know them. I don't even know how to describe them just because, like, I don't know what they are. Whenever they come on at weddings, I kind of just go hide out in the bathroom like a little loser at lunch, like back in the movies when, you know, the sixth grader just hangs out in the bathroom at lunch and eats their lunch there. That's kind of me at weddings when the old Black like songs come on and everybody's like, hey! And I'm like, I don't know this song. Lastly, Southern cooking, don't know how to do it. Fun fact, I used to intern for Bobby Flay, who's like a world-renowned chef, but I wasn't learning how to make fried chicken. Fun fact, I like put water on a grease fire in college and I set my apartment on fire because, again, we weren't frying stuff in this household. My mom puts bacon in the greens, for God's sake. No, she's not white. My parents are both Black. My grandparents are Black. Fun fact, there's not a white person in my family since back in slavery. We have a family tree. There's not a white person in it. It's just a bunch of not white people, a bunch of light-skinned people marrying each other. Like, that's what it is. I'm sorry. Also, stop calling my parents racist. That is not nice.
Every mixed kid is raised differently. The way you're raised is influenced by your environment, by your culture, by the country you're living in, by the continent you're living in. I was raised in Russia as a Russian woman. I know I'm Black, but I was raised as a Russian woman. If I were to live in Nigeria, I would have been raised as a Nigerian woman, regardless what race my mother is. A Black mother living in Africa is not going to raise their child the same way a North American Black mother would, or a European Black mother. Same goes for white women. You're influenced by your environment. So I really don't understand why so many people are upset and why it's a race issue now.
Tell me you have a white mom without telling me you have a white mom.
My mom had no idea how to do my hair. She tried and she tried and she tried, and I screamed and I screamed and I screamed. So she did the right thing. Put my little 2-year-old self in the car, drove to an all-black, all-natural hair studio here in St. Louis, walked in, set me on the counter, and said, and I quote, "Help me. I am an ignorant Caucasian woman, and I have no idea what I'm doing." The entire hair studio busted out laughing. And my mom took it like a champ. She was like, yes, I'm ignorant. Please, laugh at my ignorance. Please, please. And once the laughing died down, this beautiful Black woman came up to my mom and said, "Come here, honey. I'm gonna show you what to do." So she showed my mom the basics: braids, twists, cornrows, etc. My mom got loaded up on natural hair supplies. My mom even went the extra mile and took braiding classes. And from then on, she knew exactly what she was doing. My hair looked cute as fuck.
From the stories that were shared, we've heard that, and we can conclude that, yeah, biracial children are raised differently and they're perceived differently depending on where they are raised from, the setup. So, biracial people I've seen running on my For You page on TikTok, from all of them, I've seen that this girl had spoken with a sense of, you know, she's composed and she's speaking with a kind of respect, you know, to her parents, or as a parent, and she even called out people who had called her parents racist. So this is a mother who didn't have a Black experience growing up, you know, and it's mothers who raised their children as who come from families of parents of different tribes can relate to this, as we're Africans and just speak different languages. Our society is patriarchal, and obviously we have to speak our father's languages, but when our mothers don't speak our father's language, we end up speaking our mother's language. So that's how I see this kind of upbringing. So, but if it's just genuinely that, and it is not that you are against that race, you know, you don't associate yourself with such people, but why don't you just learn the simple basics? I don't know what to do with your hair. Can I consult? Can I? There's always a way. Learn. If you're open to interactional relationships, then learn things. And in cases where they don't learn, that's why we hear stuff like this. I don't want to end the video on this note, but we just have to hear this.
I think we just need to get really real about this white mom discussion and how historically white women have been our oppressors, the worst of our oppressors throughout time, and have caused and continue to cause the most harm. So like why would we think that like is absolved or goes away when they produce a brown child? Like, I'm serious. I thought the joke was funny because it's true.